So, this is my board game, Zombie Escape. Here is my game board and the components that come with it. The game is set in an apocalyptic world, and you hear a radio transmission saying there is space for 4 survivors on the helicopter. You must roll the dice and navigate all of your group safely to the helipad. Make sure you are the first to do so to gain victory. The components are the game board, then there is 1 dice, and there is 4 counters of each colour: blue, red, yellow and green. So to start, one player will roll the dice and you will take turns at rolling. Once a 6 has been thrown, you can move one of your pieces from the base onto the start square. After throwing a 6, at any point in the game, you get to roll the dice again. On certain occasions you will land on a square that contains an instruction. You must follow the instruction, then it is the next player's go. If you roll a 6 then land on an instruction, you must use the piece you've already moved in this turn on your extra throw. So that instruction said move forward 2 spaces. So you then move forward the 2 spaces and then the next player has their go. In this situation, rolls a 6 and moves to the start square, then takes their next go. In this situation it's red's turn to go, and they roll a 6. So you can either choose to move the piece already on the board or bring another piece into play, which you then place on the start square. And then you roll again with your extra go. This is an example of a bad instruction that you can land on, as there are both good and bad. This one says move back 10 spaces, so you then have to count back the 10 spaces and stop. Also, there are squares that say miss turns. For example, miss 1 turn or 2. If you land on a square occupied by another player, you can, depending on if you want a longer or shorter game, choose to remove the piece you've landed on back to its start point, or leave it in place. There are squares on the board that have the message swap with the closest enemy piece. This can either be good or bad, depending where the enemy is. In this situation it moves for blue, more than halfway further round the board, but also moves for red closer. As you can see, the red is now not far away from the helipad. In this version, the red gets further away from the helipad and the blue closer. It also makes the game very interesting, the fact you can use multiple pieces at once, so you can move one to get closer to an enemy. So, to win the game fully, you must move all your pieces around the board, clockwise that is, and up the safety strip to the helipad. And when all your pieces are there, you've won. Of course, playing the version where you eliminate the enemies when you land on their squares makes it more interesting and you can annoy people more, but it does take significantly longer. This game can also be played with 2 to 4 players. When you have a piece on the safety strip, you can't move when the dice exceeds the amount of squares left. Here 2 is okay, and you can move. But if you roll a 6, then you can't move, because there's only 3 squares left. So when you roll 3, or 2 or 1, etc., and get to the helipad, you've won.